please introduce yourself and what film you're with.
So I'm Ryner Viray. So I'm the writer, director, editor of Tears Are Part of the Ocean. So it's the sole Filipino film in this lineup for this year.
That's so exciting. Congrats. And what inspired this story?
Actually, it's a very personal story of mine since I was dealing with a lot of mental health problems, especially during the pandemic last 2020. And there are a lot of friends who were, confined in a mental rehabilitation center because they cannot, they don't know how to process their struggle, their grief during the time of uncertainty. So this film came out of those lived experiences inside the mental rehabilitation center. And how, looking back in retrospective, 5 years from now, the people who are admitted there last 2020 are still there. So it more than the personal problem, it deals about institutional accountability, wherein it's a time in our country that our President Duterte, who has a warrant of arrest in the ICC right now, has no accountability. Even in the face of the typhoon, he's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
And this is like more than the personal story. This is a microcosm of a country in disrepair during that time.
Yeah. And where are you from originally?
I'm from the Philippines. Yeah, I'm from Manila. I'm based in Manila right now. I'm working as an editor, freelance producer, director, and hopefully right now I'm writing for my next short film. Hopefully it will be produced next year. I just granted a visa yesterday night, so everything was so rushed. So I'm planning to stay here for a month.
Yeah.
I live with my aunt, right? I'm staying with them. But when opportunity knocks, I don't know.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
Welcome. And so what do you hope the audience will take away from your film?
I want them, more than ending the stigma about mental health, I want them to see themselves in the characters. And but why is mental health, aside from the fact that it is inevitable, like aside from I hate the word suicide, but what is the liberation from it? So I would like to take away from someone who's been in recovery that every day is a continuous journey in pursuing our mental health recovery. And there are no right or wrong answers. Everything is uncertain. And I think in being peaceful with your inner demons is just accepting that they are there.
Yeah.
And living with them every day.
Comparing America to the Philippines, is there a big contrast in mental health and like what is available to you back home as far as therapy and resources like that?
Yeah. Well, I think mental health is universal, but especially we're in a third world country. The government doesn't give a fuck about mental health, especially when in our generation, the Gen Zs, we've been on a lot of campaigns about mental health, but the government, since we are a product of a populist government and systematic disinformation, those are not their priority. So we are just left on our own. So we don't know, like especially if you're a Filipino, you don't know where you stand in. Like globally, you need to perform in some kind of way, but especially in your country, there's no accountability. So
well, I hope your film opens up that dialogue.
It helps in that. It gives a ripple.
Yeah.
And putting those topics or themes forward.
Yeah. Well done you. Congrats on making that big leap. This is a fist pump because that's a big step, back in your culture. So congrats to you. Thanks for chatting with me and enjoy your time here.
I had fun.